There it is. So foam roller, yoga brick, TheraBand. Have a lie down on your mats. Drop things. I'm going to kick my dog off the mat. All right, Lolita, go lay down on your bed. Good girl. No, that means keep moving. Keep going. All right, dogs. So take a breath and have your roller. I'm gonna put it like in the space between my heels and my butt. You don't have to do that, but have it handy because we're gonna use it very shortly. Okay. Hi, here we are. We're breathing. So as we kind of settle in, just noticing where you have really easy access to your breath and where it feels trickier. And in those places that feel trickier, see if you can shift more. So maybe it feels tricky to get some breath moving into your back body. Maybe it feels trickier to get it moving between your sitting bones. Generally, we're pretty good in the belly and the chest. So just taking a minute to kind of assess your ability to access some of those trickier spots. Big breath in, big breath out. And if you were in rollout class, see if you can make a concerted effort to breathe through all of that pelvic stuff that we rolled out. One more big breath in, big breath out. When you feel ready, we're going to take a little bridge, just a little one, just to lift up and get that roller underneath the hips. And so I want it to really be like at the top of your butt crack as you start to hit the sacrum, not up at the top of the sacrum into the lumbar. I want it to be closer to your tailbone so that we can facilitate a little bit of pubic bone moving towards sternum. And take a minute here to breathe. And depending on what kind of roller you have, like for me, this is real high, but it feels really good for me where I'm at right now. And if your roller is softer, it'll be a little lower. This is a great place to kind of pause and allow for that pelvic floor to be unweighted. And so I'm even like taking my fingers just above my pubic bone and dragging my guts up, and I can feel stuff moving around inside. And I want you to notice if your knees go out to the side or if your feet go wide and your knees drop together. See if we can go heels roughly in line with the sitting bones with the knees traveling over big toe, second toe. And that might give you a little stretch on your quads depending on the roller. So let's just take a couple more breaths here of kind of gathering our guts up and back. So like up, meaning out of the pelvis, and back towards the spine. And the other nice thing that having this elevation does is it helps create a little bit more space in the back here for my ribs to descend. Take a few minutes to breathe here. Got folks coming in. Whee! One more big breath in and big breath out. And then nice and slow, we're gonna bring one leg into tabletop. And then we're gonna bring the other leg into tabletop. And then this is gonna make it like a little bit more tucky on the roller. So letting the guts really drop back and take a big inhale and a big exhale. And again, we're just trying to use gravity to help us breathe more into our backs. We've got this elevation. And what I really notice for me personally is that the right side of my back feels tighter. So I'm going to shift my weight a little bit more into my right side and take a few really concerted breaths of trying to move the tightness in my back body. And for you, it might be the left or it might be in the center. Big breath in, big breath out. And last one, big inhale, big exhale. If you are rotated onto a side, come back to center. And then we're just gonna kind of even out the roller and our ribs so that we start to work more towards neutral. So I'm not letting the roller pull me into a heavy tuck. You could do a little bit of imprint, but I don't want any butt clenching, especially after all that rollout we did, rolling out our tushies. And I like to put my thumbs on my bottom ribs and my fingertips on my hip points, and I'm trying to keep them roughly in line with each other, not lifted up or tucked deeply under, right? And so this is effortful for me, for my abdominals, to just try to kind of maintain this neutral. And then you could have your heels dropped pretty heavy towards your butt, or you could lift your heels and create a 90-degree angle at your hip. This is going to be more weight to lower than if your heels are dropped. So it's up to you about what feels good and what you can manage. We're going to take a big inhale and find all that expansion. And then we're going to use our exhale to do the same thing we were doing manually of lifting the guts up and pulling them back towards the spine without it sending us into a big tuck. We're trying to keep equal weight on that roller. Inhale to prepare, and then use a long exhale to lower the right foot towards the floor and right back up into tabletop. And then left side, same deal. We're trying to move the leg without arching the back or moving the roller. And we're going to alternate sides. And I like to use a long exhale because it means that I'm really securing my guts against the spine. But you can do whatever you want. Just so long as you're breathing. Breathing, breathing, breathing. So we're just sort of settling into a little bit of foundation work here through the pelvis. Once more each side or until you feel even. Big breath in, big breath out. We're going to take both legs together. If you want to squeeze your inner thighs together to help you kind of track, feel free. We're going to lower down. And this is the one where we're much more likely to be like, I'm touching my toes to the floor, but my back's way up here. We want to keep this business connected and then bring it in. So again, we're just moving at the hip. Hip, 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 and back. And Long, long exhale if you want to. Let's do 3 more. And that exhale, really exhaling first before you move, helps you to secure your guts and get those abdominals really kicked on before the movement starts. Last one. I'm sure I didn't count right. And then we're going to stay here. Take a big breath in, big breath out. We're going to reach one leg long. Big inhale, big exhale. Let's flex the foot. And we're going to start to lower the leg. And there's going to be a moment when your back wants to arch to get your leg down. So I want you just to meet that boundary and then lift the leg back up. And again, lower only so far that your back doesn't arch. And up. And again, for 3, 4, and 5, and last one, 6. Bring it in, bend the knee into tabletop, take an inhale, exhale, reach the other leg out long, flex that foot. We're thinking about reaching from the underbutt out the heel. And if I'm lengthening my leg from that underbutt, my back doesn't need to arch. We're going to lower, lower, lower as low as we can without arching, and then lift back up. And again. 2. And 3. And 4. 5. Last one. 6. Woo! Bring it back and in. Hug your knees into your chest. Take a big breath in, big breath out. If your knees are super hugged in, you should be able to slide your roller right out from underneath you, but you're also welcome to bridge off of it if that's what feels better for you. And then once your butt is on the mat, bring your feet to the floor and then take a second here and breathe. I don't know about you, but like my back is like totally making out with the floor now. And that's without me doing an imprint. It's just my back ribs have dropped considerably. So I'm quite pleased with that result. We're going to take a big breath in, big breath out. Whenever you feel ready, grab your yoga brick and stick it between your knees. Take a big inhale, big exhale. Feeling the big toe, baby toe, inner heel, outer heel. And take a couple more passes of that, of kind of like pressing into the midfoot, pressing through that big toe, and then pressing through that pinky, press through the inner, press through the outer. Can you press through all of it? And what's interesting to me is to notice what's harder. It is really hard for me to press into the big toe and inner heel of my right foot. So that is where most of my kind of attention is going to go, at least at first. Take a big breath in and a big breath out. Imagine that you're pulling your yoga mat together with your feet a little bit. And that is going to bring your thighs a little bit more, with a little bit more pressure against your yoga brick. And then let that go. Take an inhale, exhale, press into that pinky side of your foot, but you still got to press into your big toe. And then try to pull them out apart. And as you pull them out apart, that's going to make you want to let go of your brick, but don't. But it should turn on your side butt just a tiny, tiny bit. You're pulling wide. And then you're going to pull together. Big toe, inner heel. That's going to ask for a little extra squeeze. Then you're going to pull apart without letting go of the yoga brick. Let's do that one more time. Pull it together. Pull it together, man. And then pull it apart. Big breath in, big breath out. We're going to pull it together. Pull those heels towards your butt. Drag your pubic bone towards your sternum just a little bit and press into your feet to lift your butt into your first bridge of class. We're going to take an inhale here. Big breath in, big breath out. If you want to, you could play with that idea of, okay, I'm going to grab my guts. I'm going to lift them up and wrap them back. Ribs, guts. Big inhale, big exhale. We lower down out of that bridge. Big breath in, big breath out. Pull the mat together, find your squeeze. Inhale, exhale, lift up into the bridge of your dreams. Inhale here, exhale, pull those heels toward your butt, lower down. Float your arms up, fingertips to the sky, let the shoulders weight into the floor. Inhale to prepare, exhale, pull that mat together and lift up. Pull your heels towards your butt, reach your arms overhead as you lower your butt. You're reaching your butt to your heels and you're reaching your arms overhead. So you're pulling in two directions at once. Inhale at the bottom, exhale, pull it together and lift. Inhale, exhale, pull, reach. Lift right back up. Reach. Pull that internal taffy. Try to get your right rib dropping at the same time as your left. Right glute, left glute. Trying to find equality. Lift. Inhale, exhale, reach and lower. Inhale, exhale, lift. Inhale, exhale, lower. Woo! Inhale, exhale, lift. Inhale, exhale, lower. Last one, guys. Inhale, exhale, lift. Big breath in, big breath out. Lower down. Good. All the way down. Take your arms into goalposts for a minute. Don't let your boobs pop up, though. Keep that weight, all of that space you made in your back. And then find that goalpost. Big inhale. Big exhale. You're going to extend your arms down by your side. You're going to take your yoga brick and you're going to slide it under your right foot. I'm going to move down my mat just a hair, just so I can overreach. I'm going to reach those arms again. This time we're on a brick. All right, so taking a big breath in and a big breath out. Imagine the brick is still between your thigh bones. I know it isn't, but we're going to imagine we got a little something to work with. Take an inhale to prepare. Exhale. Pull the floor together with that big toe and that inner heel. How does it feel different with one foot up? Inhale. Exhale. Press down through those feet. Pubic bone, sternum, lift up into your bridge. Take a big inhale, big exhale. Now arms can be floated up, fingertips to the sky, or they can be down on the floor. It's whatever feels best for you. Take an inhale, exhale. We're going to let the right hip point drop down. Inhale, exhale. Soften through that right rib. That right butt is going to hit your mat first. And then let the left side hit neutral-ish. Inhale. Exhale. Press down through those feet. Pull the floor together. Pull your guts back and lift. Inhale. Exhale. Right hip point drops down again. Reach your right arm overhead. Inhale, exhale. Soften through the ribs to lower down through that right side. Big inhale, big exhale. Right butt cheek hits first and then the left. Float that arm back up. We're going to do that one more time. Inhale, exhale. Press down through the feet. Pull it together. Lift up. Inhale. Exhale. Drop that right hip point. Reach the right arm overhead. Inhale, exhale. Soften through those right ribs and roll down through that weighted right side. Ooh, big inhale, big exhale. Let that pass through neutral. Float your arms up. Now again, arms can stay up or they can come down by your side. I'm going to bring mine down. We're going to do a little bit of work here. Take an inhale, exhale. Press into those feet. Pull the floor together. Pull your heels toward your butt. Gather your guts back. and lift up into a bridge that you can work in. Maybe it's not super high, and that's okay. Okay, work where you need to work, but keep your big toe and inner heel absolutely grounded through the floor on the right side. Option 1, lift your left heel and push your left heel into the floor 6 times, or press into your right leg and lift your left off of the mat into tabletop, and 6 toe taps here. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Lower that left foot. Lower your butt back down through center. Release your sitting bones. Shake your butt out. Let's kick the brick out of the way and bring the soles of the feet together, and then let your knees drop apart. So a little butterfly stretch here so that we can get a little stretch through those inner thighs and the medial hamstring, or that inner hamstring, which should have been working pretty hard if you were grounded through that big toe and inner heel. Big breath in, big breath out. Oh, one more. Big inhale, big exhale. We're going to close the thighs up. We're going to grab that delightful yoga brick, and now it goes under the left side. Left foot. And take a big breath in and a big breath out. Oh. So we're going to press into those feet. Big toe, inner heel. Trying to pull the mat together. Pull your heels towards your butt. Pubic bone a little towards that sternum. Gather those guts up and back. Press down to lift up. We're staying weighted through those ribs and up through the butt. Take an inhale, exhale. Left hip point is going to drop down. Inhale, exhale. Roll down. Left butt cheek is going to hit. Then let that right one meet. Inhale, exhale. We do it again. Press down, pull together, lift up. This time we add the arm if you're so inclined. Inhale, exhale, lift up through that left arm. Reach it overhead. Rotate that left pelvis. I should have said that first. And then roll down through that left side. Oh, interesting. Land that butt, even out the butt. Float that arm back up. Inhale, exhale. We come back up into that bridge. Big breath in, big breath out. Lift the left hip, rotate down. Let that right one, the left arm reach overhead. Inhale, exhale, soften through the ribs to roll down. Land that butt. Land the right butt. Float that arm up. Okay, so now arms can either be down by your side or they can stay up, your choice. I'm gonna bring mine down. We're gonna press into those feetsies. And then once you're up in the bridge, you could lift and lower your right heel 6 times, or you can do the right leg toe taps, okay? Big breath in, big breath out. Find those feet, big toe inner heel. Pull the floor together, pull towards your heels, heels to butt. Drag your pubic bone, sternum, lift up. Press down through that left side. Ooh-hoo! Flip the right leg in whichever way you want to do it. Toe taps or heel taps for 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Lower down, lower down. Rest. Soles of the feet together, a little butterfly. If you wanted to kind of flutter here, you could. Take a big breath in and a big breath out. Whew. One more. Big inhale, big exhale. Whenever you feel ready, we're going to close up those inner thighs. Grab your foam roller again. Oh, man. Got it. Thought I was going to fall off of my table, as per usual. And then we're going to grab that foam roller, put it behind the brow line. There-ish. Bottom of the scapula, give or take. And then interlace your fingers. Bring it behind your skull, thumbs can kind of hold that occipital ridge if that feels good. Bring your elbows in. And then we're just gonna start with a little bit of extension over the roller and back up. And you don't have to fix anything right this second, but what I want you to notice is when you come up, is your head and neck pulling you forward, or are your ribs pushing back to come up? My preference is your ribs. Then I want you to notice when you come up, do you come up a little extra higher by clenching your butt and tucking under? Or can you keep your pelvis where it is? And the way that we're gonna use the same tools we already used in our bridging. If we press into our feet and pull the heels towards the butt a little bit and then drag the pubic bone towards the sternum just a little bit, now we're using all of the stabilization shit that we can down here to make sure that we're not tucking to come up too high and putting it in our low back. So we're going to keep a little bit of glute and hamstring and a little bit of low abdominals, and then we're going to reach those ribs through extension, and then we're going to come back up through flexion. And we're going to work that just like 3 more times. And 2 and 1. And take a big breath in, big breath out. So we're really pulling the head back into the hands. So we're still weighted through the back of the skull, the back of the ribs, the back of the sacrum. Take an inhale, exhale. We're going to press down through that left foot and float the right leg up into tabletop. We're going to reach the toe down to the mat as we extend over the roller, and then exhale, pull in. We're going to do that again for 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Inhale, exhale. We're going to rotate our ribs into the right. So that left elbow is coming towards your right knee. And then we're going to pull in, get up, curl, 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 curl. And then we're going to extend over the roller as we reach the leg. And I'm still in rotation. Exhale, pull. And reach. Exhale, pull. And reach. Exhale, pull. And reach. Exhale, pull. And reach. Now keep your leg long. Rotate yourself back to center through the ribs. Lower your leg all the way down to the floor. And then try to reach a little longer. Like slide that heel way, way, way far away, but then pull your ribs back and over that roller. So we're getting a long stretch through the whole right side. Big breath in, big breath out, and then side bend a little to the left. So we get a little longer. Take a big breath in, big breath out. Keep reaching that heel, but then pull the heel towards your left foot. So now we're making a banana shape and a great big side bend here. And just notice if your ribs are popping, see if you can nestle them back towards the roller while you side bend. We're going to take one more big breath in here. Big breath out. We're going to bring it back through center, leg back through center, drag that heel. Land the foot onto the mat. Inhale, we're going to go over the roller. Exhale, curl. Just notice if anything feels maybe just a little bit different on that right side. Little over, little curl. Little over, little curl. Little over, little curl. Hold here. Pull back through that skull. Pull back through the ribs. Land through the foot. Pull the butt towards your heel, drag your pubic bone towards your sternum. We're going to try to keep that as stable as possible. Press down through the right foot, float the left leg up into tabletop. As we tap the left toe down, we'll take extension over the roller and then we'll curl it in. And again, for 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And hold, inhale, exhale, press back through the left side of your ribs, reach that right shoulder blade around to bring you into a little curl. And then we're going to extend the leg and extend the ribs in rotation, and then exhale, curl. And again, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Reach that leg out long, rotate your ribs back through center, lower the leg all the way down to the mat, and then try to slide your heel down the mat, pull your ribs back against the roller, and lengthen your spine over into extension here. Take a big inhale, big exhale. We're going to keep reaching and side bend a little bit to the right. Take a big inhale, big exhale. Slide your left thigh towards your right ankle. So now we're making our banana shape. Take a big inhale, big exhale. One more big breath in, big breath out. We're going to come back through center. Slide that right foot on the mat and curl up through your ribs. Move the roller as needed so that you can grab onto the backs of your thighs and come all the way up to sit nice and tall. Good, you guys. I like to dig into my heels and bend my knees a little bit so it really pulls me right up on top of my sitting bones. And take a big breath in, big breath out. We're going to reach the arms forward and take an inhale. On your exhale, you're going to nod your chin down towards your chest, and then you're going to curl those ribs back like you just did on your roller. And you're going to bring yourself forward into a little forward flexion, little stretch here. Inhale. Exhale. Use your exhale to pull your guts up against your spine to restack. Nice and tall. Big breath in. Big breath out. We're going to do it one more time. A little nod, a little curl. And slide forward. Big breath in, big breath out. Now from here, instead of keeping your curl, you're going to start to lengthen out through your spine and find a flat back. Think about your sitting bones going really wide. I like to press down on my calves to lift my chest up. Big inhale, big exhale. And then come all the way up to sit nice and tall. When you feel ready, grab your yoga brick and your TheraBand. We're going to do side lying. I threw my yoga brick. There it is. Alrighty. So almost every time that I do this, I almost always lie down on my right side first and have my left side up. I've noticed that this has been my habit, so I'm going to do the opposite. If you have noticed that you do one side first, maybe try the other side. I don't know. Options. All right. So I like to use my mat as a rough approximation of where my body needs to be. So the back of the skull and the back of the ribs and the back of the sacrum are roughly aligned with the back of my mat. And then my knees and my ankles are roughly in line with the front of my mat. And that puts me in this delightful 90-90 position. And then the shoulders, we're wanting to stack them. So I kind of pull my arm under my ribs a little bit. This also helps me to keep a little lift in my ribs, not forward, but up, which then gives me more length in my side body. And then we're thinking about pulling those butt cheeks apart, right? Wide sitting bones, not tucked under. If I'm tucking under, my femur's going that way. We want that butt to hold on to that leg bone. If you want to use the band, it is optional. It's going to go around the ball of the foot. And then I recommend holding it in the bottom hand so you have a nice angle here. But again, you do what's best for you. We're going to take a big breath in and a big breath out. And again, the breathing is so annoyingly important. I tend to get a little chesty in my breath. So this is really giving me the opportunity to shift my breath lower. It needs to come back here. It needs to go this way. Big breath in. Big breath out. I'm going to imagine my femur bone, my leg bone, moving into the back of my hip without rotating my hip. So that leg bone pulls back. And then I'm going to find my hover. So that hover is just lifting the top leg enough that the knee is in line with the hip, the ankle is in line with the knee. And then we're going to lift a little and we're going to lower a little. And we're going to do that again. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. We're going to do our circles. 8, 7. I know I'm counting so obnoxiously slow. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Reverse it. 1. We're stirring that hip socket. 2. When we move through that internal and external rotation. 3. The pelvic floor muscles get longer and contract. And longer and contract. And longer and shorter and longer and shorter. And then rest. I think that was 8. I started saying words instead of numbers. Big breath in, big breath out. We're going to find our hover again. Hover, hover, hover. Big inhale, big exhale. Boop. We're going to straighten the leg. Reach it out long. Big breath in, big breath out. We're going to tap it down to the floor. We're going to lift it up, and then we're going to lift it a little higher. Back to neutral, floor, neutral, elevation, neutral, floor, neutral, elevation, neutral, floor, neutral, elevation. Neutral hold, bend your knee in, press it out. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and hold. External rotation, parallel. External rotation, parallel. External rotation, parallel. External rotation, parallel. External rotation, and hold. Bend your knee in, press it out. And 5, and 4, and 3, and 2, and 1. Hold it out long, come back to parallel, hinge your leg forward. Inhale, exhale, press your leg back, the back corner of your mat. Hinge your leg forward, press your leg back, hinge your leg forward, press your leg back, hinge your leg forward, and press it all the way back. Lower it down to that back end of your mat. Take your top arm up and reach it to the top corner of your mat. Get rid of your brick if you need to. So you're working on a diagonal here. Front corner, back corner. Big inhale, big exhale. You're reaching in 2 directions at once. You're pulling those guts back against your spine. Big breath in, big breath out. Now you're going to lift that leg up. You're going to hinge it all the way forward, lower it down. You're going to take that top arm back up to the ceiling and you're going to rotate open. Oh. Big breath in, big breath out. Again, we're reaching in 2 directions at once. Big inhale, big exhale. One more, big breath in. Big breath out. And then go ahead and fold your limbs in. Push yourself up to sit. Let's do the other side. Aww. All right, so again, use the mat if you need to help you find the alignment of your dreams. Big breath in, big breath out. Oof. Back of the skull, back of the ribs, the back of the sacrum, 90-degree angle at the hip and the knee. I'm going to kind of slide my arm bone under my ribs. Going to help me engage my abdominals a little bit. Big breath in, big breath out. We're going to find our hover. Hover. And from the hover, we're going to lift it up a little bit more and then lower it a little bit. And lift it and lower it. And 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. We got circles. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Reverse it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Ugh. Rest for a second. Big breath in, big breath out. Inhale to prepare. Exhale. We're going to come back to our hover and we're going to reach the leg up. Longy, long, long, long. And then we're going to lower it down to the mat. We're going to lift it a little. We're going to lift it a little. Lower, lower, lift, lift. Lower, lower, lift, lift. Lower, lower, lift, lift. Lower, lower, lift, and hold. So we're neutral. We're going to bend the knee in. We're going to press it out. And in. And out. And in. And out. And in. And out. Hold here. We're going to go external rotation. And parallel. Rotation. Parallel. 3, 4, 5, 6, hold. Bend the knee in and press it out. And in and out. And in and out. And in and out. And in and out. Hold it there. Come back to parallel. We're going to hinge the leg forward. we're going to press it back and forward and back and forward and back and forward and back and forward. And then reach it all the way back to that back corner, lower it down, lift your arm up, reach that arm up and over. We're going to reach it to that front corner of your mat. So you're reaching on a giant diagonal. Big breath in, big breath out. And then we're going to lift that leg, lift that arm. The leg is going to hinge forward. Boop, boop, boop. Lower it down. Top arm, rotate back. Big breath in. Big breath out. Big inhale, big exhale. And then close it up. Whenever you feel ready, pass through a little cat-cow. And take a big inhale and a big exhale. And then bring yourself to what you perceive as neutral. So again, we're thinking the back of the skull and the back of the ribs and the back of the sacrum. And we were just here. We just happen to be on our sides, right? And you're going to try to pull the mat apart with your knees. And take a big breath in, big breath out. Try to pull the mat apart with the pinky side of your hand. And then try to wrap your triceps or your elbows towards each other. Just a little. On a scale of 1 to 10, do it as a 2. Pull the mat apart and wrap. And then we're going to press our butts back towards our heels, only so far that we don't roll through the spine. We're going to keep it neutral. A little press back. Press back. Take a big inhale at the back end. Exhale forward. Inhale. Exhale to press back. Take a big inhale when you're back there. Exhale forward. And again. Pull that mat apart. Pull it apart. Shoulders and butts. And then your guts are lifting up and back against your spine. To everything that we've done already in class, we're just flipping the relationship to gravity. 2 more. Press back. This should feel like work. Pull it apart, pull it apart, pull it apart. Pull it apart, pull it apart, pull it apart, pull it apart, pull it apart. Last one. Pull it apart, pull it apart, pull it apart, pull it apart, pull it apart. And whenever you feel ready, roll onto your back. Put your legs any which way you want. They could be knees knocked together. They could be long. They could be butterfly. You could have one leg long, whatever you want to do, whatever feels good. And take a big breath in and a big breath out. Back of the skull, the back of the ribs, the back of the sacrum, the soles of the feet, maybe. Let your breath settle in a little. And then thinking about that jellyfish breath, of everything widening on that inhalation and lengthening on that exhalation. Last one. Big breath in. Big breath out. And you, my friends, are cooked. Happy Monday. Thanks for coming to class. Next week is Thanksgiving week, but we will be having class on Monday. And if you can't make it, I will remember to post it to YouTube. If you have any questions, comments, thoughts, feelings, you could stay on or shoot me an email. Otherwise, I'll see you all
Thank you.
very soon.
Thank you. See you tomorrow.
Bye.
Thank you.
My pleasure. Good to see you. Wait, Nikki, I can't hear you. You're like, no, yes.
I was saying, I don't know how to turn this shit off. I wasn't
Oh,
talking. Yeah, it's just, I
here,
don't have
I'll
my
turn it off
glasses
for you.
on. I'm like, what? Where?
Mwah. I'll see you next week. I'll see you on
Oh,
Monday.
yeah. You want to hear a piece of news?
Yeah.
John was here this last week for his show. Like his band was here on
Oh, yeah.
tour. And so we had breakfast. He's getting married next month. They're doing it for the kids, is what he told me. But I mean, I don't know. To me, a red flag is marrying the person you dated immediately after the divorcing your wife of 25 years. But I mean, it could be not. I don't know. I mean, it's great.